how you kick a video game off. Yeah! Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game of my physical media collection. As always, I am your host, Victor Nub, and today we are looking at the most metal game ever, Solstice! I'm not going to be able to keep up this enthusiasm. This is not a good game. So this game was developed by Software Creations and published by CSG ImageSoft and released in the United States in June of 1990. Credit has to be given where credit is due. While this game is very problematic in ways, they had one of the best soundtracks, at least with the intro song, of any game I've ever played. And I didn't want to talk over that intro because I think it is incredible. Unfortunately, the game did not keep up the high mark of quality that that song would lead you to believe it has, at least from my own opinion. This goes on the stack of many games that I own that I have never actually beaten. We'll see as soon as we get started with the game, but let's go ahead and do the story setup. I think I had mentioned in the previous recorded episode of Nub's Collection how long the story setup for Ninja Gaiden 2 was, and how it was almost as long as the story that they had presented in the instruction manual for ActRaiser. This game may have both of those beat. They did not want you to miss in any way any of the story setup for this game. Because it is very much a fantastical setting, and there's a lot of backstory involving, I guess, the lead character, this wizard character, and not only him, but also, I guess, the evil wizard that you're trying to fight. I would be lying if I told you I remember or understand any of that story for this particular game, because it's one of those frustrating experiences where I tried to figure out what I was doing, never made any serious progress, and just got frustrated and quit the game before ever getting anywhere near the end. But we'll go ahead and do the story setup like we normally do. Strap yourselves in. This is going to be a long one. The initial section, because there are two sections, starts out as a poem called The Legend of Castle Rock.
When darkness slithers through the land, on evil's foul and fiendish band, ere blackness o'er man's hearts has crossed, recall these words of legend lost. 'Neath Castle Rock's well-guarded walls, one hope for man in ancient halls. Safe bid from evil's searching eyes, the shattered staff of Demnos lies. Each 100 years on full moons rise, high in the winter solstice skies, the spell that cloaks the staff shall break, revealing that which all would take.
This is an excerpt from, they spelled it form, F-O-R-M, because I guess they put all the effort into writing this poem and then didn't bother to spell check. Their little side note. This is an excerpt from the ancient rune poem as translated by Shaddax, the sorcerer, who I believe is the main character in this game. By the way, if I didn't say the full name, it's not just Solstice, it is
Solstice, the quest for the staff of Demnos.
They put a lot of effort into building a lore-rich experience, which is funny because I think outside of what I'm telling you, you don't get any story beats in this game, at least none that I remember. But anyway, let's get to the main meat of the story because, boy, there is a ton of it. Boy. All right, here we go. The rest of the story is simply titled The Quest for the Staff of Demnos.
As the full moon rose high above Castle Rock on the eve of the winter solstice, Morbius the malevolent grinned a wicked grin and continued to ready the impending ritual, the sacrifice of a helpless damsel to the forces of darkness in return for total domination of the world. But this was no simple girl, he thought in his black and twisted mind. This was the beautiful princess Eleanor of Arcadia, the land of his sworn enemy. It was too perfect. Too perfect. Not even that accursed staff of Demnos could stand in his way now. For years his spies had used every conceivably horrible method to find it, and if they could not succeed, surely no one else would. Besides, with or without the magic staff, his evil plans would succeed. With or without it, he would become the supreme symbol of evil, the Black Baron of Darkness. Then all would be forced to grovel at his feet, and he would plunge the world into a deathly darkness from which it would never return. Everything was prepared. Nothing could stop him now. The fearsome fortress of Castle Rock had long been the stronghold of Morbius the Malevolent. Built high atop a tremendous cliff of jagged rock, rising straight up from the Sea of Sorrows, the castle had withstood the onslaught of many great armies over the centuries. Rumors of secret halls and rooms protected by deadly black magic and ferocious man-eating beasts had entered the legends of old by the few fortunate prisoners who had escaped Morbius's, I'm not sure how you do that when it's plural, torturous clutches. Morbius's? They trembled while talking of the dreaded caves of the doomed souls, an endless labyrinth of catacombs carved out of the sheer rock cliff far beneath the castle walls. The words crept from their tongues when they spoke of the 4 deadly towers of the main castle, as if with a mere mention they would be transported back by some of Morbius's, there it is, Morbius's, this time they added an extra S instead of just an apostrophe, evil black magic. I'm not sure how you do that. Brave men cowered in fear when they had heard the terrible tales of torture in the Gardens of Pain and the Blood Gardens just to the west of the castle. So many gardens. Women and children wept when told of the grisly horrors that befell the unsuspecting who wandered aimlessly through the slaughter yards that protected the Tower of Tears at the northernmost boundary of Castle Rock. And few words could describe the hideous screams of terror from the foolhardy who mistakenly tumbled into the mines of insanity, never to be heard from again. But no stories could compare with those of the eastern grounds of the castle, where the Tower of Ultimate Terror stood surrounded by the gruesome stone hedge gardens, whose massive walls were said to be made from the crushed bones of Morbius's unfortunate victims. Of the tower itself, little was known. Many believed it was the site of Morbius's secret workshop. Such an overwhelming sense of fear hung about its walls. Certainly it was the source of his evil powers. Thank you for the his, good lord. As for many days now, a black cloud could be seen pouring forth from it, spreading across the land, and choking off the last hopeful rays of the sun.
We still got 2 pages of this dreck. Boy, they could have cut a lot of this out. They went overboard.
The old sorcerer Shaddax stood at the foot of the great cliff of Castle Rock and stared into the blackness above. Having sailed unseen across the Sea of Sorrows, he now set his mind firmly.
He set his family to the task. Hey, you guys go take care of him. I'm just going to chill in the boat.
He knew a secret way into the castle, a way unknown to even Morbius himself. He discovered it by carefully...
Sorry, the instruction manual is a little hard to read in some spots.
He discovered it by carefully translating the ancient rune maps and poetry he'd found in the library of the oracles in far-off Arcadia. But he knew getting in was the least of his worries. After all, Morbius would never expect that someone would actually want to get into Castle Rock.
By the way, there's an umlaut over the O and whatever the upward pointed caret over an A, so I guess it's pronounced Castle Rick. Casa Rick.
Hopefully his disguise would provide him with the element of surprise he so needed. After all, who would suspect an old man Who would suspect that an old man could cause any trouble in such a deadly, powerful place? But he was not the withered old beggar he appeared. His true identity remained safely concealed beneath his tattered cloak and hat, and there it would stay until he possessed the strength he needed to confront Morbius. For powerful as Shaddax was, he was still no match for the vast fortresses of darkness growing daily in the hands of the evil Baron. For his task,
Sorry, the H's and the B's kind of look similar in this.
For this task, he needed the strongest of allies. He needed the awesome power of the Staff of Demnos. According to legend, this magical staff had been forged long, long ago in the mystical fires of the mythical elf kingdom of Old Earth. And legend had it that he who possessed this mighty weapon would rule heaven and earth. How it had wound up in the hands of mankind is a tale far too long to tell here.
Yeah, thank you, God. Skip that part.
But in the wise hands of the ancient kings of Arcadia, it had provided centuries of peace and prosperity. However, many years ago, for fear it would fall into Morbius's increasingly powerful grip, the staff had been broken into 6 pieces. A spell of invisibility had been cast upon them, and they were scattered to the far corners of the continent. At least that is what it was popularly believed. But once again, Shaddax knew something his enemy did not. If the ancient rune poems were true, the pieces of the staff had been hidden in the last place Morbius would ever think to look, in his own castle. And only once every 100 years would the spell be broken, allowing the pieces of the staff to be seen once again by human eyes. On the eve of the winter solstice, when the full moon rode high in the heavens,
Oh, okay, that was not a run-on sentence.
that is, if the ancient poems were true. If he could even find where the staff was hidden in this deadly place. If. But this was not a time for idle thinking. Morbius had sent most of his vile forces throughout the land in search of the broken pieces of the magical staff, leaving Castle Rook thinly guarded. If ever Shaddax's plan were to succeed, it would be this night. It was time to claim his rightful place as a king among men, or vanish anonymously into the black abyss of history.
What were they thinking when they wrote all this garbage? That is more story than was ever needed for a game where basically you're just solving physics puzzles. All right, so after that incredibly long story setup, I think we have everything we need to hop around in an isometric plane and do a bunch of puzzle solving.
Shaddax, help me!
Princess Eleanor!
Bad guy.
Princess Eleanor is mine! Morbius, release her!
Haha, she is to lose her soul, that I may become powerful beyond your comprehension. It is the... Oh, crap.
Too fast, game. My hands weren't even on the controller. That was way too fast. So as I mentioned before, this game was done in an isometric presentation. So you hop up and down and move left and right at an angle instead of straight up and down. I don't know if you can move straight up and down if you hold at an angle. You cannot. So you have to move in 4 directions, and they're all either up, right, up, left, down, right, or down, left. So they did themselves no favors in trying to make this game more easily navigable. Navigable. Let's see. There is a pair of boots. I'm staring at a map right now, sorry. There's a pair of boots that we want to get to as quickly as possible because they make this a lot easier. You don't have any weapons in this game. You're given 4 potions, and they all do separate things when you use them. Unfortunately, I don't know what they are. I know that one makes you invulnerable, one makes you, I think, invisible. One gives you the ability to, I believe, destroy enemies in a room. And one, I think, lets you make additional platforms. And, of course, as with all great game design, they don't tell you. I mean, you look at the potions and you can use them, but that doesn't really help you much. Also, they give you a map, as you can see here in the top left corner, and I don't know if you can make it any bigger or smaller. They put a lot of effort into making this a really good game. The problem is, it's not a really good game. All right, check in. Hup, hup, got it. I got a magic key. I think the magic key actually makes either some objects visible or you can reach them easier. As we'll find out in a second here. Whoa! Again, I think the standout aspect of this game, yeah, see, these weren't here before, is definitely the music and not so much the gameplay. I guess the graphics aren't terrible, they're just not awe-inspiring. Cool. Alright, so the boots are this way. Now, the game definitely shows you in the demo video how to do this. Let's see if I can get the timing right. I did. I'll watch him drop it off his head. Alright. Got it. And... oh! Oh! Got the boots! So what the boots do is they make you jump higher, if I am not mistaken. Hard to tell. Yeah, I don't know if I could make that before. Okay, I just used a potion by accident. Oh! Alright. I had that coming. I did a panic step off and then I missed. This is why this is such a frustrating game. The isometric aspect of the game makes it hard to judge distance when you're making jumps. So you'll try to make a jump and maybe you'll hit it, maybe you'll overshoot it. There's no shadow underneath your character, so that adds to the difficulty of making jumps in this game. Now, I made my way to those boots, but I honestly don't know where I should go after this, so we're just gonna do a little exploring and see if we can't figure it out. I don't know if I can make it to either of these platforms. In fact, I'm not doing much of anything. Well, that wasn't it. Alright, let's go this way. So they give you a box here, but I don't know if you can actually do anything in this room or take that box with you. It's the easy way to hop on it and then see if I take it in here. Nope, sure don't. Whoa, made it. Cool. Alright, so... interesting. Wait a minute. That's right. One of the potions... I don't know which one it is. Again, they don't tell you. We'll try this one. I've beaten 6.2% of the game, apparently. One of these stops time. That was definitely not it. I think I just screwed up. No, I didn't. Alright, so... we'll try that one. And... stop! Or miss. Or stop! Hey, there we go. Yeah! Alright. I got green. I don't know what green does, but I have a lot of it now. Alright, so purple destroyed everything in the room. Yellow stopped time. And we'll try the other two and see what they do. I think green did nothing because I accidentally had it on yellow. Aha! Makes platforms. Now, I do have a map here. Let's see if I can peek for a key. Because I need keys to do things here. There is a key to the south. And a hat to the north. I don't know what the hat does for me, but we'll go south. Or southeast, I guess I should say. Yep, okay. There we go. I hit the start button and nothing happened. Oh! Cool. So I think I have to land that and then... perfect. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Alright, what did this do for me? I don't think there's a room above this room, so I don't know if this actually accomplished anything. I guess if I hop on that block, it'll take me somewhere? To the top, please. Oh, look at that. And of course I botched immediately because I didn't know there was going to be something that's needed to be stopped. All right, so there's something in the room on the other side of there, but I can't get to it without yellow. Potion! I hope I didn't just die. Oh, okay. All right, well, let's go see if we can find some yellow. Am I out of potion? Nope, I got one last dose and then I am out of options for this path. I don't know where I can find more potion. Oh, let's, yep, we got that on. I can't go any further. All right, well, I guess I'm stuck here. Let's see if I can make this jump. I cannot. I believe blue makes me invincible, so... But not to spikes, apparently. Ah, game over. That was fast. Do I get to do anything else? I have 1 credit. All right, so I get to continue from the gray room that I was in when I picked up that little token. What can I do in this area that's not any of that other stuff? And more importantly, do I have potion? I do! So I might be able to get that scroll after all. All right, let's make our way back there, though. How do I do that? We have to go south. This way. Well, I guess I don't have the boots. Yep, I don't have the boots. That was lame. The credit only counted from when I picked it up. Alright, let's see if we can get this right. On his noggin. There we go. You make a good platform, sir. Whee! Whee! Got my boots back. So as you can see, there was a continue option in this game. And unfortunately, it's picked up by finding items that you see in the environment. That's the biggest detraction from this game, is that you have a limited number of options or a limited number of continues to attempt these weird physics puzzles and get the timing right. And if you botch too many times, it's game over and you have to basically start over from the very beginning. Not great. Not when the game is this finicky in the design. I can have the, yep, there we go. All right, so stop it here. All right, let's see if that was enough. That was not. Okay, take, oh, damn it. Okay, well, that's all right, just leave it. I don't have an option. I can't do that a second time. Because if I do, I can't get to the scroll that was out here. That's weird. They won't let you use the potion a second time unless you pause and reaffirm your selection, I guess. I don't know who came up with that idea, but that was a bad choice. Whee! Alright, get on. To the top. I better pick this real quick. And then hopefully it'll let me pause. Stop! Alright, good. Can I make this? I cannot? Ah, great. Yeah, see, I have no idea what plane those objects are on. That was pure guess, and I'm out of potion now to stop them again. So I can't get to this object. An interesting idea plagued by terrible execution. And frankly, when we get to the end here, that is going to affect the score very heavily. I can't go any further that way because I'm out of yellow potions. So now we're right back where we were before. I can't make any progress in that area. I don't even know if I can get back to where I was before. We'll have to try another approach. Oh. I would be astonished to find out there's someone who's beaten this game. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe the devs beat it. That's it. Of course, I was on the wrong plane. That looks like it's the right one. And we're back to the beginning of the game again. All right, we're gonna do this one more time, and then that's it. I don't really love this game, so I'm gonna have a hard time finding reasons to continue trying these confounding puzzles. The key was it this way? It was, yes. All right, so. There we go. Hop, hop. Got it. Nice thing is if you hold the jump button, he just keeps hopping up and down. So when you're doing little hops like this, you make them a lot easier because you just keep bouncing off the objects when you run to them. Not much effort required. Let's see what's up here. Nothing great. And I don't see much this way of value. So if we go left, right? Right, we'll get back to where we were before. If I don't botch and fall off this. Good. All right. Right. No. Come on. Down. I'm not going to touch that yet. I want to get the boots first. Because in theory, that'll save me a little bit of effort on a second pass through here if I... Oh, didn't go far enough. If I have to continue again, I don't have to try this puzzle for the boots a second time. Oh, come on! Trying to recreate a three-dimensional space with 2D graphics just does not work. You have to give them some credit, but it's not going to be much when I get to the review section. Whew. Just barely made that. See, I mean, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. These don't look like they're on the same plane. It looks like this is on a plane with this block here. I think maybe if they had done this in 2D, it would have been a lot easier to figure out. Whew. And let's go ahead and switch to the yellow. See if that's enough. It is. All right. So I have to use that in the next area. So we'll put that on now so I don't accidentally burn my yellow. I think a big improvement they could have made to this game. Sorry, I gotta adjust here. Oh, yeah. One of the big improvements they could have made to this game to make it a lot more user-friendly is don't make it so you have to use potions at all. Or replenish potions, I should say. Just, well, I mean, maybe not, just not even have potions to begin with. Because some of the puzzles here are not easy to figure out based on the layout of the map or the gridded nature of the level. If they had just made it so that these were infinitely replenishable, I think this game would be a far more enjoyable experience. As it is, I don't think this was well designed. Technically impressive, but not functionally. And I botched that again. I can't believe it. I thought that... that's what I get for taking my hands off the controller. I thought stopping time would stop the conveyor belt. I guess it only stops time for some objects, which doesn't make a ton of sense. And I have no idea. You know what? I just realized I forgot to pick up the damn continue token too. So I'm gonna have to go back this way anyway to get the token, which will probably negate any progress that I was making because, of course, once I pick it up, it's going to save my potion status, I bet. Well, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Yep. Alright. Was right here. Yep. Hooray! I get another chance at this incredibly difficult physics-based video game. We could go up, but I have no idea if that's gonna work. Let's go up. Yep. This way. Right? Yeah, okay. I think that's the right way. Ah, he's coming for me. Half this stuff, I don't even know why it's there. Like, why are there blocks in this room? There's no vertical element to it. There's no objects that you can see. I don't know. Whoa! Hey. Oh. Ooh. Come on, guy. This is maybe one of those times where the destroy everything potion does the trick. Hooray! Leave it on one that I can't burn. So there's a block that goes up multiple floors, and if I stay on it, it'll take me to more blue potion. But then I have no idea how to get to the blue potion because it doesn't look like it's... Maybe jump this way! Yep. Alright. So this is going to be one of those ones where I just have to keep hopping on blocks until I get to the outermost edge. You can't stop on these! Hey, I did it. Let's see if I can make this. I cannot. Ah! Come on. Oh, I overjumped! No, I can't go back that way. Supposedly, there's a lot more music to be heard in this game. I just wish I'd ever heard any of it. I don't know if I've ever gotten out of this castle. I have to go on that block, I bet. I have to jump all the way over to that platform and grab the block before I can make that jump. Jump from here! Cool. Here we go. Made it. There we go. Now can I get up here? Nope. Now here... See, I would assume this is enough height to get you up into the next area, and then you would be able to maybe get that potion, but you can't get up here without that block there. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Screw it. Just leave. This is why I never beat the game. They give you an option on how to get to that guy, and I have no idea if it's worth the effort. Alright. That was some garbage. You walk in the room and immediately fall in a spike pit because there's a couple of blocks that disappear. Oh, good, another continue. Whoa, worms. Can I do anything here? No, I can't. Except go up. Can I do anything here. Whoa. Who? Okay, so I made it there. What was the point? Looks like there was a key that I had to pick up to get to it. Yeah, that figures. And it looks like this is a one-way room for a bunch of other objects. The only way I know any of this is I'm cheating and I'm looking at a map. And frankly, even with a map in front of me, I don't know if the path forward is any more obvious. Like, I have no idea how you do this. I guess you would have to use the stop time potion, which I'm out of, again. Or maybe you have to pop the block while you're jumping and then you can hop off of it. I guess we'll find out. You can. That's what you do. That is bizarre. That doesn't make any sense. But whatever, I guess. It worked. And I bet to grab that hat, which I think is an extra life, you have to drop a block on the big spikes there. Alright, let's do it now. Alright. Yeah, look at that. Now let's see if I can make it back to the platform safely. Hey! I did something! Hooray! And now I'm screwed because this is going to take me back to all these rooms where there are spike pits that I can't get through without green potion, which I only have 2 doses of. And the only way to go any further is to have more green potion, which I can't reach without going to the platform. That's to the screen directly north of me, and I can't stop it, so I think I'm boned here. This is obnoxious. Whoever thought this was good game design should just eat a big bag of dicks. I can't make this. Yeah. I think I should just commit suicide and then respawn at that continue token. I have no idea how far away that is from my objective. Alright, well, they do give me potion back, apparently. I don't know how I ended up with a full bottle of blue, but okay. So, where was I relative to the room I need to be in? Okay, so down. Just go down. This thing again. Whew. I guess I see what they were going for there. I still think it was very poorly implemented. Try to get this hat again. Ah, I overshot it. Okay, I guess I'm not getting the hat. Screw it. I don't care. I just want to do this one thing. I want to get the scroll. I want to get the scroll, and I want to do it without burning all my potions unintentionally. Alright, so I gotta use this here in the next room and do it now. Aw, man, the potion's gone. All right, I'm screwed. I have no idea where to find more of this. The design of this game is bullshit. I don't know how you're supposed to do this. If you make one damn mistake in this game, you can't advance. It's ridiculous. All right, I think that's a good spot to call it. That's about as much as I'm going to be able to take of this game. This is a game that I paid money for or asked for as a gift, and I have no idea how anyone has ever beaten it. Even if you know critical pathing for this game, I don't know if that would help you. Let's go ahead and do the review phase. We'll do the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is, I think, one thing and only one thing, and it deserves mention because it is worthy of accolades, and it is the soundtrack in general and in specific, that very first song that you hear in the intro. It's a song worthy of praise because of how bombastic and ridiculously over the top it is. I mean, it's something special. The guy who wrote that song definitely deserves credit for coming up with something that sells you on the premise of the game without ever seeing anything more than just the intro picture. It is one of a kind, maybe the best orchestration of music on the Nintendo period. And that's a lot to say because there are games on the Nintendo that everyone would consider to have iconic soundtracks. The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario 3, any of the Mega Man games, Castlevania 2, which I've talked up, Simon's Quest has a fantastic soundtrack. This song, I think, is better than any other song you'll hear out of any of those games combined. It is a masterpiece of orchestration using chiptunes. Unfortunately, that's maybe the only good I can speak of for this game. The bad is going to be very easy. The game is unfair with the way that the puzzles are designed. The fact that the isometric layout of the map makes it damn near impossible to get jumps correct at times. And given the limited quantity of potions that you are capable of carrying and using at any given time, making simple mistakes is extremely costly, and there's no way to attack enemies in this game except for burn a potion. And if you do, you're never guaranteed to find more anywhere, at least not easily. There was one room that I was just trying to get through to get to a scroll, and I don't even know what the scroll does. It may be part of the staff, it may be just something that makes it so you use less potion. I'll never know because I can't get to the room. At least not easily. Terribly obtuse design. They don't tell you where to go. You just kind of land in the middle of a map somewhere, and you get more of the map on the screen, but you can never adjust the size of it from what I can tell in the game. At least I never figured out how to do it. They tried something ambitious, and unfortunately they failed because the technology was not capable of representing what they wanted it to. And unfortunately, you have to dock points for that. Ambition without success is just wasted potential, ultimately. As far as the ugly, that story at the beginning of the game, good lord, overly wordy. It tells you a lot of the same information in different ways, and none of it really clarifies what I'm doing outside of find pieces of a staff and go fight a guy. Unfortunately, none of that story translates to guidance in the game. You're just kind of thrown into a big map and left to guess and most likely fail many of the physics-based puzzles in this game before getting tired of it and quitting. So this was a frustrating game to play again. And unfortunately, back-to-back weeks of me doing this, because timeline-wise, you won't see this immediately after, but this is the game I recorded right after Ninja Gaiden 2, and boy, this leaves a sour taste in the mouth. But let's go ahead and do the score. We do our score in Randars, 1 to 10 Randars. This is going to get one of the worst scores that I give for any game that we may ever look at. I'm going to give this a 2. 2 Randars. For all the effort they may have put into the soundtrack and the graphical presentation, it's not a bad-looking game. It's just the way it's laid out makes it very difficult to tell what you're doing at any given spot and any given time. A shadow underneath the character would have made a world of difference in trying to make jumps in this game, but there isn't one. Which is funny, because I remember in certain rooms of this game, there are enemies that walk around that have a little shadow because they're invisible. They took the time to animate shadows for enemies that are supposed to be invisible, but not the main character. What were they thinking? That's just terribly obtuse. They had the foresight to create an enemy that casts a shadow when they shouldn't, but not a physical moving character that should. Unbelievable. Terrible choice. 2 out of 10 Randars. This is a bad game. Terrible game. The fact that people liked it enough for them to produce a sequel, which they did, called Equinox, is astonishing. And we didn't go into this at the beginning of the game, but Software Creations went on to create one of the games that I hold very highly in the future. They made Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage, which is a game I love. Maybe it's a good sign or a bad sign of the difficulties they had in coming up with creative content of their own, unique IPs that not only had good staying power, but also were designed well. This company kind of fell into a quagmire of licensed property hell. They tended to make a lot of games that were based on licensed properties. The Simpsons, Tom and Jerry, Spider-Man games, which were, as we'll see in future episodes, in some cases absolutely terrible, or not well designed from they're just bad games. There's really no other way to put it. But they ended up getting bought by, I think, Acclaim at some point, and the studio just got liquidated. So they ended up shuttering in 2003 or 4. But this is a perfect example of why this company, no matter how good the technical side of the design is, just didn't have any staying power, because for however much quality they could put into the graphics or the music, the game's just not fun to play. Which is kind of a nail in the coffin for any potential studios. Hire people who can make good, fun games, not just pretty or good sounding games. But yeah, 2 Randars. Bad game. Really, really bad game. I wish I could say more nice things about it, but aside from the music and maybe the graphical presentation, this was a total stinker. That's going to do it for this episode of Nubs Collection. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time.
Princess Eleanor is mine! Morbius, release her!
Ha! She is to lose her soul, that I may become powerful beyond your comprehension. It is the... Oh, crap.